Garland police say a murder victim was the target of a robbery and that the robbery was set up by a 17-year-old girl and her accomplice. 21-year-old Arturo Peña's family tells us they've hired a private investigator to look into their son's murder. Natalie Navarro is in jail in South Texas, but her alleged accomplice remains on the run. Fox 4's David Centendry has the update. David.
Yeah, Arturo Peña was found shot and killed several days after he had been reported missing. And tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from his family. They say they are doing whatever they can, including, as you mentioned, hiring a private investigator in hopes of finding that second accused killer. 21-year-old Arturo Peña was found murdered in his car at Willow Park in Garland last week, 2 days after he was reported missing. Garland police detectives obtained arrest warrants for 21-year-old Jordi Martinez, shown here in a previous mugshot, and 17-year-old Natalie Navarro, who was the subject of an Amber Alert in Dallas. Navarro was arrested in Webb County, near the border city of Laredo. Martinez is on the run. Now, an arrest affidavit reveals robbery may have been the motive.
There's a murderer on the loose, and if they did it for a ring and a necklace, stuff that doesn't even matter, you know, we can't imagine where they're going elsewhere with no money and what they could do.
Peña's girlfriend and mother tell Fox 4 they had not heard of Martinez or Navarro until Peña went missing. Then they say they received tips from people believing the pair may have been responsible. Peña's family says they confronted Navarro.
She was acting like she was so sincere that she was going to help us find Arturo, that she was so scared and nervous, and she was just praying.
Peña's family even contacted Mesquite police when they say they spotted Martinez and Navarro last Monday. Remember, at this time, Peña was still a missing person. His body had not been found. Video taken by Peña's family appears to show Martinez being apprehended, but Mesquite Police Department says there were no active warrants. So a report was made and they were released. A citation was issued to one of the two, but the department will not specify who or for what. The next day, Peña's body was found in Garland. Garland Police Department says it gained enough evidence to issue murder warrants 3 days later.
We can't rest until he's locked up as well.
While police search for Martinez, Peña's family is also using a private investigator.
I'm very confident in the Garland police that they will catch him, but I can tell you right now, the only thing that bothers me right now, there's a killer on the loose, and you got to ask yourself this question: who's going to be next?
The Garland police affidavit is heavily redacted to protect evidence, so it's unclear if it reveals how Peña, Martinez, and Navarro came to know each other.
Who knows if he's going to kill somebody else's son?
And again, anyone with any information on the whereabouts of Martinez or information about what happened is asked to contact Garland's police department.
Dallas police arrested a landlord for shooting and killing a man at his rental home.
According to court records, the suspect even called 911 on himself. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager live in Dallas tonight with more on this story. Peyton.
Steve, the suspect, Damian Walker, is here tonight at the Dallas County Jail facing a murder charge. And today, this afternoon, I briefly spoke with the victim's family. They tell me the victim was staying at the home where the shooting took place. Remnants of crime scene tape remain at a home on Denley Drive in South Dallas. Inside, Dallas police say 45-year-old Damian Walker fatally shot a man identified as 51-year-old Absalom Cobbs on Monday morning. Public record shows Walker owns the home off Denley Drive and was renting it out. According to an arrest affidavit Fox 4 obtained on Wednesday, Walker told police he showed up to the home just before noon Monday to tell Cobbs to vacate the residence because he believed Cobbs was selling drugs out of the location. In fact, the court documents say Walker is the one who called 911 and admitted he shot Cobbs multiple times. While on the phone, Walker said he was going to leave the home off Denley and drive to his home on Trojan Street, about 4 miles away, to wait for officers. Walker was taken into custody. In an interview with investigators, Walker said he was unsure if Cobbs had been living at the home, but knew the person renting the residence allowed Cobbs to be there. Walker claimed Cobbs grabbed him first, so Walker pushed him away. That's when Walker said he drew his firearm and shot Cobbs one time. Walker told police he then shot Cobbs several more times while he was on the ground because Cobbs, quote, began to move around like he was searching for something and believed Cobbs may have been reaching for a weapon. However, Walker added he never saw Cobbs with a weapon at any time. Detectives did locate a tan firearm in a separate room inside the Denley home, but there was no weapons found in the room where Cobbs was shot. Walker was charged with murder and has a $500,000 bond. Records show he has no prior criminal cases. Records do show Cobbs does have prior felony and misdemeanor drug arrests, but no charges relating to distribution.
We also learned today from the arrest paperwork the suspect's girlfriend was out in the car while the shooting was taking place. Surveillance video caught Walker walking out of the home and getting in that car with his girlfriend after 8 shots came from inside the house.
Plano police say surveillance video and a tip to detectives helped them capture 9 people wanted for a string of apartment burglaries in the city. Police say all of the victims had something in common. Fox 4's Amelia Jones is in Plano tonight with a story. Amelia.
Steve, Plano police say they were not expecting to arrest 9 people. When they did arrest the group, police say they were able to return some of the stolen items. Since August 16th, Plano police say a group of 8 young men and 1 young woman targeted apartment complexes in a string of burglaries. In all, police say the group broke into at least 6 apartments. They were caught this week right after allegedly committing another crime.
Once they confirmed that the burglary did occur, they stopped the suspects.
According to police documents, the first burglary happened on August 16th at the Ryaki 121 apartments. 10 days later, on August 26th, another burglary was reported at the same apartment complex. That same day, 2 more burglaries were reported at a different apartment complex. In every case, the door was pried open and valuable items were stolen.
Through force. So at one point they went to one of the local stores and bought a pry tool and you used that in the offense.
There was another similarity to each crime. All of the victims were of South Asian or Indian descent, but police don't have evidence race played a direct role in why certain victims were targeted.
We believe they're targeting jewelry, and it just so happens that the victims were of Asian descent. It's possible that's another reason why they were targeted. We haven't confirmed that because there's just so many other victims.
Police were able to see surveillance video and got a description of the suspects' vehicles. Then, on Tuesday, police got a tip that the 2 cars would be in the Plano area.
They found it and set up on it and watched it for a little while.
They tracked the group to the Hunters Glen apartment complex, where they were caught committing at least 2 more burglaries. They were later stopped and the group was arrested.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal to our detectives. It's a big deal to our patrol officers and, the community.
Plano police are looking to see if there are any more potential victims. Police say that the group came up to Plano from the Houston area, which is where it's believed that they lived.
Police are looking for 2 thieves who broke into a Parker County church.
Investigators in Willow Park, that's 20 miles west of Fort Worth, say a man and a woman stole items from St. Francis Anglican Church. And it was on Friday. Dion Anglin joins us with the images that I think, Dion, are very recognizable.
Yeah, you would be right about that, Steve. And this congregation here is moving forward despite that break-in, that overnight break-in this past Friday. They're working closely with investigators, and there is good evidence in the recorded surveillance video.
And you can kind of see here just the way that they crowbarred it.
Father Sam Wilgus at St. Francis of Assisi Anglican Church is talking about these 2 burglars caught on surveillance, a man and woman, their faces shown clearly, breaking into the Willow Park house of worship.
These were all open.
Once inside, the pair spent over an hour rummaging through closets, cabinets, gathering various items.
Right, to get into the office, they had to break that. And
they broke into the church rector's locked office and made their way to this small room, a part of the main church sanctuary, where valuable communion vessels were kept.
Thankfully, we've had some friendly churches within our diocese. Our network of churches have lent us some communion vessels so that we can carry on with services.
The man and woman are again seen on surveillance leaving with the items through the same door they came in. Father Wilgus says no one at the church seems to recognize them.
We don't. And I've shown other people at the church, and nobody recognizes them.
The burglars also broke windows on a separate building, the church school, where they stole electronics used for teaching students. The church is hopeful someone recognizes the man and woman suspects to help Willow Park police investigators.
The way we want to respond to this is not with vindictiveness. You know, we're not out for blood here. In fact, the gospel that we believe in doesn't really allow for vindictiveness or ill will, and so we're praying for the folks who committed this. We have to march on. We have to continue on with this kingdom work that God's given us to do.
Now, I spoke with the Willow Park investigator, the lieutenant who's working this case, and she's very hopeful that if anyone recognizes the man and woman seen in the surveillance video, that they will give them a call right away.
Dallas police linked at least one suspect to the drive-by murder of a woman outside a Dallas liquor store over the summer. More arrests could be on the way. Fox 4's David Santendry live in Dallas with the story. David.
Yeah, this was a drive-by shooting with multiple suspects, and right now we do not know who the intended targets were, but in an arrest affidavit there seems to be a pretty clear link to gang activity.
I just fell on the floor, hollered and screamed, hallelujah, praise God, and cried.
A weight has partially been lifted off the family of Shania Jones. The 24-year-old was murdered, one of 5 people shot in a drive-by at a block party near Fair Park in the early morning hours of July 16th. Last week, Dallas police charged 23-year-old LaQuest Searles with the murder, but there were multiple shooters, according to an arrest affidavit.
I say, well, he's going to be the one that talks, because he's going to want that deal.
10 days after the July shooting, Searles contacted Dallas police to give information about a separate murder from the year before, according to the affidavit. Dallas police, however, had already identified Searles as a suspect in the block party shooting with the help of surveillance video, license plate readers, GPS tracking, and more evidence. It's unclear if Searles knew he was a suspect. Later, cell phone data records placed Searles at the scene of the shooting. He was arrested last Thursday. The motive is not stated in the affidavit, but it reads, Searles hangs with gang members.
And it's a lot of young kids involved, and the way they just go about things nowadays is just like, it probably was just another activity for them.
Jones's loved ones say they do not know what led to the shooting, but they do not believe she was a target.
You know what I'm saying? She was minding her own business. She wasn't even involved in whatever they had going on.
Jones had a 2-year-old son and a 1-year-old daughter. Jones lived with her mother. Now her mother hopes the rest of the shooters involved will be caught by police.
She loved her kids. She loved her mother. She did everything for me.
When asked today, Dallas PD did not provide any additional information on those additional suspects, but of course, if you or anyone you know has information about them or what may have happened, you're asked to give Dallas Police Department a call. As for Searles, he's here in the Dallas County Jail on a $1.5 million bond. Heather, I'll send it back to you.
All right, David, thank you.